So Kathy, before we get into the fun stuff, can you just tell those listening who you are and what you do? Just give us a nutshell version.
Oh, goodness. Okay. My name is Kathy, and I do a multitude of things. I work with paper and paper products, and then I also work for a nursery and a gift company. Plus, I also am a wife, a mom, and a grandmom. So, yeah, I'm busy.
You have a very full life and a grandmom to how many littles? You have quite a few.
I have five, currently five, yes.
Bless your heart. Kathy, tell us why initially, this was several months ago now, tell us why you initially invested in one-on-one nutrition coaching. What was your goal?
I struggle with hypoglycemia and sometimes a very low self esteem. So I wanted to be able to control the hypoglycemia, but also to the point where I can feel good about myself and in the process lose some weight and body fat.
Before we talk about the amazing results that you've seen, did you have any fears or reservations holding you back when you initially made that commitment? What were you
Yes.
worried about?
Yes. I worried about um, restrictions and not being able to live in the lifestyle that I do. Since my husband and I are empty nesters, we do tend to eat out more, and sometimes his choices are not the healthiest. So I wanted to be able to continue the lifestyle that I have, but make changes to what I choose to eat.
So you kind of came into this process saying, I'm willing to change what isn't working, but there are a lot of things about my life that I enjoy and about my relationship with food, and I don't want to give up all of that fun. And tell us, do you feel like you've had to throughout this process?
No, not really. I feel like I've made definite changes in the things that I choose that have made me feel much better. But also, I, and I'm not even going to call it cheat, I'm still able to enjoy the things that I like.
I love that. Makes my heart so happy. We don't need to feel deprived or restricted in order to achieve big, powerful things. So, Kathy, you were afraid of maybe having to give up or change your life to the point where you maybe didn't even like what it looked like anymore because it didn't allow for many fun foods and beverages. And we know that that's not the case now, but in that moment, how did you talk yourself through that?
I, I told myself that I wanted to feel better because I didn't feel good. I wanted to be able to run with my grandchildren and enjoy others' company. And if that meant giving up the things that I enjoyed, I was willing to do that.
Hmm.
But I didn't have to.
You didn't have to, but you were willing to, which I think is important. You were willing to change what wasn't working in your life so that you could get the outcome, get the results that you knew would just completely change, not just your relationship with food, but those around you. I mean, as a grandma, you have lots of little ones watching what you do and how you interact with food. So you're setting a great example. So tell us, Kathy, the fun part, what results have you seen from one-on-one coaching and kind of making these changes?
Okay, most importantly, I feel so much better adding protein for my breakfast and lunches and upping it for my day. I feel much better. But I've also had weight loss and I've lost inches and I have more energy.
All fantastic things. You're being so very modest about your progress as well. Let's hit on the first one because I think that is one of, in my opinion, one of the most powerful. Is I remember our first couple of coaching calls, there was some fear perhaps around your meals and feeling shaky. You mentioned the hypoglycemia. I mean, it was really this, I don't know how I'm going to feel after I eat this, and I don't know if I'm making the right choice. What I have seen from you is this confidence that has just grown over the months that we've had working together. You know what choices are going to leave you feeling fueled from one meal to the next. And I feel like, from my perspective, that fear, that panic has dissipated significantly. Do you notice that as well?
Definitely, most definitely. I used to look at breakfast as cereal, and within an hour, I was shaking and sweating and feeling horrible. Well, now it's mostly protein and I'm good to go to lunch, sometimes through lunch. So, yeah, definitely I feel much better about myself and how I feel.
So you touched on the physical progress you've seen. You've lost significant inches, you've lost weight, you feel better energy wise. Tell us about the mindset shift, because you mentioned at first you felt a little bit insecure, lacking confidence just in yourself as a person. How has the mindset aspect of nutrition coaching changed for you from day one until today?
You have equipped me totally with the tools that I need, which makes me feel like I'm in charge of what I eat. So that gives me the power, which I didn't have before. I felt like there were so many different things out there. Which one do I choose? So many different weight loss programs, so many different ideas that like you had said before, you had told me I was combining little bits of this and little bits of that, and that doesn't work. Whereas if you just use the tools to count the macros, to get in what we need and tweaking it, it worked
So
or it's
basically, you
working.
became your own boss, right? Saying, hey, I don't need to find the perfect program. I don't need to try X, Y, and Z. I just need to try and maybe experiment in my own life to see what foods and what balanced meals leave me feeling my best. Because once you have that knowledge, you're unstoppable, right? Like now you know, hey, this is how I felt when I started my day with cereal. And this is how I feel when I start my day with a combo of protein, carbs, and fats. So you
Right.
have become your permission grantor basically to say, hey, this is what's best for you. And it sounds like that's given you a confidence just to kind of own that in your relationship with food, whether you're eating out or whether you're preparing your own meal.
That's right. And I'm prepping. I never did that before. I have veggies in the fridge that are roasted and prepped and can be thrown into my eggs at breakfast or in a salad at lunch, and I'm good to go.
Tell me this, what would you say to someone maybe who is in similar shoes? They're very busy, they have a full life, and they're knowing that change needs to be made. They're unhappy with their current circumstances, but they're feeling like, oh, I don't want to give stuff up. A change sounds hard. What would you say to that woman?
I'm going to turn 60 next year, and I've spent most of my life worrying about food. Or I should say how much I should not eat. And I would say that if you take the tools and you use them, it becomes routine and you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to think about it. You just do it and it works.
And then imagine how much of your thought process is no longer consumed by food. And it opens up so much more time and mental headspace for you to pour into those aspects of your life that you do love so much. I think that's, oh my goodness. Yeah, you said it so well. I have nothing that I could possibly add to make it better. Final question. Based on your experience, would you recommend one-on-one nutrition coaching comparatively to maybe a diet program to someone who was looking to change their relationship with food, lose weight, and feel better in their body?
Totally. I totally would. I believe that we need to learn. We need to have you to help us, to encourage us, to give us the things that will help us for the rest of our lives. And we don't need you forever. Sorry. But you are awesome and the accountability is 100% what we need to start.
Absolutely. We don't know what we don't know. So there's a level of education. We need to be taught what is actually true and what is just complete nonsense. Then we need help applying that in our real life, not just knowing, but doing. And then eventually you're right. You have all the confidence you need. You have all the tools you need to graduate and go do this and never need to diet again because you know how your body works and you know what you need to feed yourself and nourish yourself with every single day. So, I
That's
mean, I love it. I'm so, so thankful for you being willing to share your story, Kathy, because I know so many people can relate having a life that they want to live to the fullest and knowing that maybe they're not doing that, but not knowing if they're capable of creating the change that they want to see. And you are a perfect example of exactly that. So thank you for
thanks.
sharing your story.
Sure, sure. Thank you.